So hello everyone and welcome back to FTRL for week 3, round 3 of season 14 for GT. I am on my own once again this evening, but we are at Tokyo South Outer Loop for the free races this evening. No wet races this week, so the drivers can relax a little bit. But we do have Tokyo South Outer to contend with, which has a few, well actually I say a few, quite a few I'd say, difficult parts of the track. You've got the chicane and the hairpin. Oh, I know, as I've just seen, 2 wall bashing moments already. 6 minutes as usual, qualifying. Ari's just started his first lap, we're on board with him at the moment. So not many laps that you're going to get done once again this week. Obviously what does help is the pit lane is actually quite a bit away in Tokyo from the start-finish line. It's halfway kind of around the track, which obviously helps a little bit and gets him out quickly. But yeah, we're watching her at the moment. Obviously slipstream could be quite beneficial here, but obviously you know you need to be very, very close to the car in front to gain any slipstream. So whether or not anyone actually gets that benefit, I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, we're just on board with Aaron. We'll see what he does lap time wise. He's just coming through the tunnel now. There's blue flag in front of him. That's not anywhere near close enough to get in slipstream, sadly for Aaron. He comes around now this quite fast right hander, leads on to this little downhill section, which leads to the trickiest part of the track, the chicane. It's an absolute nightmare if you get it wrong. Aaron bounces a little bit but manages to control it. You bounce a little bit too much, it massively can unsettle the car and you can ruin your entire lap. Ross sits 38.5, unsafe 39.4, Lennon 40.5, Lee Cole 38.1, it's a very good lap. SPY 39.9, Aaron sits at 39.4, Nobby Norris at the back on a 42.1, Feber 39.8, and Pagani a little bit down on Leekall, so Leekall with the early marker. Obviously they're all in different cars, as is this season, so they're all got the same cars every week now. Slightly different to how the last 2 seasons went, where it's kind of changed week on week, but now they've got to pick their own car again. So obviously certain cars will be suited to certain tracks. And Leekall certainly has set down a bit of a mark up there. New moves at the back now, I think it's 42.8, I think Nobby Norris is just in front of him. Alright, so we do have this rival thing going on now. We've got a rival and you need to beat, if you can beat them in quali, 2 points, and if you beat them in a race, each race you beat them in a point. So there's 5 points up for grabs every week. If you get all 5 points against your rival in a week, then you get an extra 5 points. So that's something else alongside the normal points you can look out for. The rivals are Pagani v Aaron, SPY Rom. Rom is missing this evening and he will be next week as well, as SPY pops himself up into P2. Unsafe v Feber, Ross v Blue Flag, Lee v Lennon, Mike v Nobby Norris. Mike is away and so is Thinky, who's up against GP Greenwood. They're both at a kart event from work as far as I'm aware. So they both are missing and Rom is on holiday and he'll be missing next week as well. Hence why there's only 11 and there's usually 14 There was 15 last week, but that was because we had a reserve, and I can't remember who the reserve was again. It was a reserve, yeah, last week, hence why we had a full grid last week. But yeah, a lot of points up for grabs then, because obviously you're going to get a lot of rival points, and then obviously there's 3 drivers missing. So yeah, big opportunities for a lot of points. We're on board currently with Lee, and we jump on board to watch SPY using the BMW M4, as can be seen by the car and delivery at the side. GP Greenwood, big improvement from him, at just 1.4 seconds, though not enough to leapfrog Nobby Norris, who has improved quite a bit as well, up to 40.3. As we see SPY now come around and find a few corners for his last lap. Let's see how he navigates the chicane. He's got Lennon out in front of him, so hopefully that doesn't put him off too much. Looks very nice from SPY indeed. Flew around it. We're going to see if anyone improves. Lennon's first to come up. Well, Lennon improve. Lennon's just coming across the line now. He does indeed. Unsafe improves, while the 2 behind him, Lee and SPY, do not. So let's have a look at Pagani, who's coming around now. Can he leapfrog Lee? His blue flag sets 38.6. Needs a 30. No, he's not going to improve. Pagani stays 3rd place. Ross, I think everyone is done. Yeah, Peeber's just got across now. He's not improving though. JP Greenwood's on his best at the moment. I think there's a split coming up now. He's now down on his time, unfortunately for GP Greenwood. But with a chicane coming up, that might have been where he's faltered previously. So he's keeping going. See the flash in the headlights. It's probably just because he's on pad. I do that a lot. People watching. Oh, that's not the way you want to do it. So I've kind of seen why GP Greenwood make those in a lot of time. You need to attack that curve as much as it unsettles the car. It's so much quicker. You can probably gain a half a second to a second by just doing those little bits of tips and things. So sadly, that's not went well for him. Lico though, with a bit of a surprise pole in the Viper. SY P2, Pagani P3. I think quite a few people expected Pagani maybe to take pole here, but definitely Lee. I think Lee has won in this track before. He does quite like this, the Tokyo tracks. Decent from Ross in P4, unsafe P5, blue flag P6. Aaron might be a bit disappointed with P7 after a strong showing from the last 2 weeks. There's 2 points separating the top 4 in the championship at the moment. Aaron, Pagani, Rom and unsafe. Rom is missing obviously this week and the next. Lee Colt gets us underway on the first race of the 3 tonight, and Pagani's got a good start ahead of SPY. SPY's been now jumped by Ross as well. Slipstream central round here. So if you break the slipstream, then you can be away and gone. But breaking the slipstream is very difficult here as Lee Cole leads now through turn 2 from Pagani. You need to watch, don't make any early mistakes on the walls. As side by side it's Aaron, I think, in unsafe. As indeed Aaron going round the outside, and Aaron seems to unsafe going round the outside of Aaron, sorry, and Aaron has to slot in now, and he's been under pressure now from Lennon as they head towards the hairpin for the first time. SPY going back down the inside of blue flag, and Ross up there. SPY gets P3, Ross sticks in P4, blue flag P5. Unsafe's got the move on Aaron, so he's kept that position. Aaron down in P7, but right in the slipstream. Lennon P8, then it's Nobby Norris, Feber and GP Greenwood at the back at the moment. Aaron right on the back of Unsafe, but they're all in a big slipstream queue at the moment as Pagani has leapfrogged Lee, probably into the hairpin, but Lee's now going to pull out from the slipstream and go past Pagani round the outside at the next corner, and he's went too deep into that, but he's managed to keep the place. Pagani though might think about a move back down the inside. He's just going to slip in though as they come towards the chicane for the first time. Everyone looks to get through relatively cleanly. I've not seen anyone have any big errors there, so everyone through. And P1 is Lee for the end of lap 1 on to lap 2, 18 minutes now left of this race. Pagani and Lee are getting away from SPY a little bit, and there's positive Ross right around the outside, so he's now going wheel to wheel. SPY still trying to hold it round the outside. He hits the wall. That's going to compromise his run as Ross gets through into P3. Then Aaron hits the wall as well, so he's battling Unsafe. And they're going wheel to wheel, but Unsafe keeps that position. Lennon might get interested as well in this battle as Aaron's still trying to find a way past Unsafe as they head down now towards the hairpin for the second time. Aaron tries to pull down on the inside. SPY goes for a move on positive Ross as they have a bit of contact on the exit. SPY wins out though. Aaron gets past Unsafe, but they're still side by side as they head towards the tunnel. Down the back we've got Lennon still P8, Fever and Nobby Norris battling. Nobby Norris getting past Fever at the moment. And then he might have a look at Lennon as well, as Aaron has now been passed by Unsafe again, but they're still side by side at the moment. And then up front, you've still got Ross now, who's back ahead of SPY. Blue Flag trying to get involved in this as well. He might go 3 wide, Blue Flag's not going to be sensible going back out slightly, as SPY still is in P3 at the moment. Good battle between him and Ross. And in the background, you've still got Aaron and Unsafe side by side as they head towards the chicane for the second time. Aaron and Unsafe still quite side by side. Somehow they managed to get through. Unsafe still ahead of Aaron. Great battling between the two of them as Blue Flag still in P5. Ross and SPY still battling. They've lost touch slightly though with Pagani and Lee, and Pagani's very slowly getting away from Lee, but Lee's going to claw him back with a slipstream as Lee's picked up a half a second penalty, which I'm pretty sure will be at the chicane. There's nowhere really else to get penalties, so he's cut the chicane slightly, I think. There, and he's picked up half a second. Good battle for P3 between these three. And then you've got Unsafe and Aaron, and Unsafe a little bit out of shape there on the exit, and that's going to allow Aaron a chance to once again possibly get a move. He's round the outside and Unsafe has the inside line, so Aaron might think about a bit of a switch back, and he does indeed, and he performs it to perfection, and Aaron gets P6. I think Unsafe is still just about alongside, so once again, as a repeat of last lap, they're going to go wheel to wheel through the tunnel on lap 3 for the third time. Every lap they'll be wheel to wheel round this section. The cars aren't particularly different in straight line speed by the look of it, as they're going side by side still all the way down in the tunnel, through the curve in the tunnel. Aaron's got the upper hand ever so slightly at the moment, but Unsafe is still there. Aaron ever so slightly got the upper hand, and I think he's going to have the line for the inside. Aaron takes P6. Unsafe is going to have to filter out unless he can hold it all the way around the outside. Not quite, and he concedes the position at the moment. Unsafe still there. Aaron going defensive towards the chicane. There's a yellow flag. Is that in front? Oh, but it is. It's Lee Cole, who's spanned from P2. So he's got a penalty the last lap by the look of it, and he's dropped all the way from P2 down to P11. Pagani has 2 seconds now, which is incredibly difficult to catch now without slipstream round Tokyo. There's so many straights. Aaron now up to P5, Unsafe up to P6 with that incident for Lee. Lee's going to have to come back from that. They're still quite close together. Blue Flag's lost touch slightly with Ross and SPY. Lennon's still P7. Feeber's got away from Nobby Norris and GP Greenwood. Nobby Norris and GP Greenwood having a decent little battle as well. GP Greenwood taps the wall slightly there, and a little bit out of shape for the next part. Lee Cole will be chasing after them, and it's going to be a recovery drive for him. He's 2.2 seconds in front of Pagani at the very top of the race at the moment. SPY and Ross still very close together, very closely matched, but look at it on pace. Aaron, Unsafe had a wiggle there. Aaron and Unsafe seem to be gaining and closing up to the back of Blue Flag. Got Blue Flag in his sights in P4, who has definitely lost touch now with the two in front. Ross and SPY, who are having a very good battle, and Ross is now going to go past SPY through the tunnel, and Ross moves himself back up to P2. Can they possibly get back at Pagani? I don't think so. I think Pagani maybe away and gone, barring any mistakes here. Over a third of the race has done. SPY got very close to the wall there. Aaron still is now up in P4, sorry, well I was watching that on the battle there, so, and he's also going to get overtook here by Unsafe release. So Blue Flag, we saw them catching up to them. Blue Flag now down to P6, but he's now got some help in hand with a slipstream, but he's going to try and fight it all the way. Unsafe, though, is going to win out. Bluefire's going to struggle to get around the outside there, especially around this section. Not many overtaking spots. So they sit in. Oh, blue flag taps the wall. Got the best few laps for blue flag. And before long, Lennon could be caught up to him, so he needs to get into a rhythm. Ross has kept P2 for the time being. Not lost any time ahead to Pagani. Actually, I've gained maybe a couple of attempts on Pagani, but nothing really substantial. They want to get a bit of a move on, but it's difficult round here to gain on anyone, really. Outslip. Picked up a few penalties now, Aaron and unsafe. So SBY's picked up one as well. Ross hasn't. Pagani's not as well. So Pagani's in a good place. SBY is going to look at getting back past, by the look of it, just in time for this right-hander. No, he's going to think better of it as they head towards the chicane for the 5th time. Pagani jumps over nicely. Ross is over fairly nice as well. Not as quick as Pagani though, who flew over. Aaron unsafe still, with a battle for P4 and P5. Blue flag P6. Lennon still the same distance away, and it's kind of all spread out as Lee Cole has got back past the Nobby Norris and GP Greenwood, who are quite a lot of drift now. But we'll stick on board with this battle between these two right at the top of the championship at the moment. Oh god, who's that blue? Is that blue flag at Waldendy? Who very much had an incident with the wall, though I think Lennon did as well. And Fieber's caught up with them as well, so we're going to have a free car battle for P6 shortly, the way it looks at the moment. But Aaron and unsafe definitely losing touch quite a bit now with the two in front of him. And Pagani still comfortably in front, 2-second gap still there. Can unsafe do it through the tunnel, and I have the slip. The BMW. Aaron in front in the Genesis. Unsafe gaining. And will continue to gain as they're reaching the top speeds now. Unsafe got a big advantage with this slipstream, and is he going to think about move down the inside? He's going to think better of it, and Aaron's going to lead still through the right-hander. Nicely through it for both of them, staying away from that wall. Ross still in the lead in terms of battle with SBY. Pagani though still comfortably in the lead. Aaron getting a little bit out of shape there. Didn't get that entirely right that time, and it's allowed unsafe to try and have a look round the outside. Not quite there alongside yet, so he filters back in as we reach halfway. Unsafe still trying to find a way back. We've been battling all the way since the start, these two, and they're still battling now. Positive Ross and SBY still very close together, but it's still Ross who has the upper hand at the moment. Aaron and unsafe though, still battling. Both picked up a little bit of penalties, but both might be able to get rid of them. Well, they should get rid of them before the end of Grand Prix. The first race, even Grand Prix? No, I guess it's something like that. But too used to doing F1 comps now. But yeah, we'll see if they pick up any more penalties. So it's basically just that chicane, you don't have to worry about anywhere else. This has been a hell of a long battle. Good evening, Rob. Currently on holiday. Where are you on holiday, Rob? Let us know. Let me feel jealous after I'm not long back from my holiday. I feel jealous again, you tell me. Unsafe. He's just happy to sit there for the time being. He's stopped battling as much, but he's a lot closer this time. Very early on through the tunnel, and I think unless he just pushes Aaron, I think he is just pushing Aaron actually, and he's not in any way, shape or form wanting to battle at the moment. Kind of similar to I think what Ross and SBY are doing at the moment. Oh god, Ross, that was not the way to do the chicane. Look, Pagani has clearly had an incident with that chicane. He's not had a good chicane, and he's dropped a second and a bit, and he's now nearly within the clutches of the slipstream. So if SBY can push Ross up to the back of Pagani, which they are doing, and they're within, and I'm not quite within 3/4 of a second. They are now. So Pagani has come back to the two of them, and it's now a 3-car battle for race 1. Aaron and Unsafe still going in P4 and P5. Blue flag still a little bit ahead of Lennon and Fieber, and Leakhall might be thinking about trying to come back at them. So, and get involved in that battle. Pagani's managed to get just away again, out of slipstream range, so he's been pushing to try and get out there those last few corners, and he's just with outside, but SPY can push, bump draft him back up, as Pagani getting away very slightly at the start of that straight, but then I think he'll close back up as SPY pushes Ross towards him. Not quite actually. Pagani's car is pretty rapid in the straight line, and he's keeping ahead. Oh, Pagani hoofed so very, very close to hitting the wall there. He went a little bit wide on the exit, and he was minuscule amount away from losing the lead. Still the same for the P4. Unsafe, however, has picked up another penalty. So Aaron's got the upper hand in terms of that. We're sticking on board. Can't leave this battle now for the lead, as he's just right there in front of them now. And they're pretty closely matched on pace, these three, as seen from the qualifying. There wasn't much difference between them all at all. As they head into the hairpin again. 6 minutes to go. Got a battle on our hands. Got a few battles. A battle for P1 to P3. But this battle is still ongoing for P4. Although Aaron is slightly got the upper hand at the moment, I think. Then you got this battle for P6 as Lennon has latched onto the back of blue flag. Fever's drift, and you've got Lennon as well, so that could become a 4-car battle for P6. Got a 2-car battle for P4, and then the front three up in P3. Down at the back, Nobby Norris and GP Greenwood. GP Greenwood still just about in touch with Nobby Norris, 7.5 temps, so he's still there as well. So the battle for P10, so keep an eye on that as well, so he'll win out between those two. Lennon having a look at blue flag. Can he get past? Head now towards the chicane. Blue flag. Oh, fully committed. Oh, in the background, Lee Coles span again. I just noticed he's had a collision once again, so that stopped his fight for up the grid back up. So best he's going to get now is P9, barring any incidents in front. SPY has got past Ross. Ross had lost touch with Pagani a little bit, and SPY's thought he's gonna do it on his own now, but Pagani's got back away again, so I think Pagani's got them covered at the moment, and Ross will think about going back at SPY, possibly down in towards the hairpin. Well, he's not quite got it yet, as Ross is going to do a bit of a switch back here, and he's going to get good traction out of the turn and get the slipstream now down towards the tunnel. P4 still Aaron. They both got Aaron's still got a teeny bit of penalties. Unsafe doesn't have any now, so he's done a good job of getting rid of that and still keeping slipstream tactically, and getting rid of it. So now Aaron needs to get rid of it, and he can't. Got to be very careful when he lets it up, as he can't allow Unsafe past. He's done a good job at holding Unsafe back. Ross has lost touch with SPY now, so it's not been a good few laps. He needs to get his head back in the game. He doesn't want to get caught by these two. They're having their battle. It's all very spread out between the top three. Same can't be said about this battle. And the battle here for P6 blue flag is... Anytime I see him going through that chicane, he looks awfully sideways. I'm surprised he's not crashed yet, to be honest. And Fieber has now caught up to the back of Lennon, so we've got a good 3-car battle now for P6. Leako sadly with that. And two instants, he's not having the best time of it. And Nobby Norris still the advantage ahead of GP Greenwood. Oh, Aaron taps the wall, but I don't think it will be enough for unsafe to get him yet. So he is closing. Will he think about a move down towards the inside? I think he's going to sit back. He is indeed going to sit back. Smacked into the other side. That's not going to help his exit. Aaron develop that breathing space. What's happening with this battle? Let's stick on board and see what happens here. This could get tasty. So they're going to have a lap to go after this. I think everyone will have a lap. I don't think Pagani will get an extra lap. I don't think so. No, keep an eye. Might get it, but we'll see. But these three go for the battle for P6. Blue flag in a perilous position. The two behind getting slipstream. And it's getting very tight as Lennon tries to go the long way around, and he's not going to get round there. As they head now towards the chicane. Pressure on. This is when mistakes happen. As Blue flag can proceed sideways quite a few times. Very nicely this time though. Pagani will get an extra lap. So will SBY. So will Ross. So will Aaron, I think, and unsafe. Blue flag, however, will not. So blue flag will be the first at this point, I should say, to cross the line. But everyone in front at the moment will get an extra lap. So they've got this lap they're now on and another lap. Blue flag, this is his final lap. Same with everyone behind him. So Lennon, Fever, Lee Cole, Nobby Norris, and GP Greenwood. Blue flag still keeping a nice distance ahead of the two in front of him, behind him, sorry. Aaron still got the upper hand on unsafe. Ross has got away a bit from Aaron and unsafe again now. So he's safe at the moment. SBY has picked up a wee bit of a penalty. Pagani, the top three seem to be quite stationary, barring any incidents. Then we get this battle still between Aaron and unsafe, and then this 3-car battle, which is going to be on the last lap. So can anyone change the position as they head down this long straight for the final time? And he's going to be gaining Lennon. Will he be gaining quite enough though? It does not look like it. He's not gaining anywhere near enough he needs as they come round for the final time towards the chicane. Pressure on blue flag not to make the mistake. Lennon trying to push his way around there too much, and he tapped the wall for the last time. Blue flag looks very nicely through there. All three pushing, but it looks like it's going to stay as it is, and blue flag is going to be the first to cross the line, and he's going to cross the line in P6. He's managed to hold him at bay, so blue flag comes across the line in P6. Lennon is going to take P7, and Fever is going to take P8. Lee Cole is going to take P9, and it's going to be Nobby Norris and GP Greenwood P10 and P11. Let's jump to the front. It's still Pagani, SBY and Positive Ross, top three. Unsafe has now got past Aaron. Aaron's going to have to come back at him, and he's going to have to find a way through. He's going to have to stick with him. Here we go, the battle for P4 heating up. Unsafe a little bit wide. Taps the wall slightly. It's going to give Aaron a better exit, and he's going to have the slip all the way down, and Aaron seems to have a very ever so slightly fast on the straight line. And he's closing, you can see him closing, he's closing quickly as well. It's under 4 temps now, and they're not even in the tunnel yet. As they enter the tunnel now for the final time, Aaron closing in on the back of Unsafe, and they're going to go alongside. He's going to go round the outside, he's going to go the long way round. Unsafe's going to defend the inside line. Aaron's just in front at the moment. He's got to go the long way round though. It's going to be difficult, and he's not going to be able to find a way through, and Unsafe is going to keep the place. Pagani comes round the final corner, and Pagani is going to take pretty dominant victory. They kept him at arm's length for most of the race, and Pagani takes victory in race 1. SY is going to take victory in race 2. Ross is going to take P3. Unsafe is going to take P4. Aaron takes P5. We saw blue flag, Lennon and Fever finish P6, P7, P8. And then we had Lee Cole P9, Nobby Norris, and then GP Greenwood. So we go, race 1 over, and the win goes to FTRL Pagani. So he now has the upper hand in the championship. Heading into race 2, which is reverse grid with the top 6. So you're going to have Blue Flag, who that was a very important P6 for Blue Flag actually. Ended up being, he's going to start on pole for the next race. So good job by Blue Flag to keep that P6, as it's going to mean he's going to start P1. And then it'll be Aaron starting P2, Unsafe starting P3, Ross P4, SBY P5, Pagani P6, and then the same order in which they finished down for P7 downwards. Entertaining first race though, always is though, mind you, at Tokyo South Outer. The nature of the track, it's very much a kind of street track. It's very fast, but they do have those tricky slow speed bits with a hairpin, and then also you've got that kind of high speed chicane, which can prove very tricky with the bouncy curbs. Obviously, so yeah. It's kind of similar to what kind of, obviously not with the kind of castle race section, but it's kind of a bit like Baku in that way. Very, very long straights. A lot of 90-degree corners. So it's kind of similar, I would say. Yep, here we go on to race 2. So that's race 1 done. On to race 2 we go very, very shortly. Only get a few minutes rest for each of them to grab a drink, go to the loo if they need, and then we'll be back in for race 2. So, thing is with the reverse grid for the top 6, so a lot of the time top 6 is very similar on pace. I think there's maybe a little bit more of a difference this week than there was last week. Last week it was minuscule differences between the top 6, it was tiny. This week maybe a teeny bit more of a difference between the pace of the top 6. But that being said, it's a nightmare to get past here and kind of get away from someone. You can only do it if there's a lot of battle. You know, Pagani done it at the start of last race, but it definitely isn't the easiest thing to get away from someone around here. Definitely not, because as I say, if you're within 3/4 of a second, that slipstream will carry you all the way around. Think about it, you've got that very, very long straight after the hairpin, and you've got that start-finish straight as well, which is a decent length as well. And even then, you've got a wee one towards the hairpin as well. So it's basically a lot of straights combined with quite a few wee corners. The main bit of actual proper corners is that first sector. After the first sector, it's just kind of straights in the odd corner. It's not particularly demanding circuit. It's possibly the easiest of the Tokyos in terms of the actual looking at the track layout. Obviously, a little bit harder than it looks, in fairness, with the chicane. You do obviously though. You have Tokyo South Inner, and you've got Tokyo West or Tokyo East. You've got lots of different variations. You've got ones that you can win in the middle and the harbour that you can see kind of a bit at points in this one. And that's helped Pagani in his charge for the title. Not early on, but it definitely is helpful for him. Gets an extra point as well as he beat Aaron in terms of the rival situation. Also a reminder as well that we do have our F1 starting very, very shortly again. It was a pre-season race yesterday, so if anyone wants to join F1, message the Leako if you've got them on Discord, or message the FTRL socials on Twitter or that. That's going to be starting very, very shortly for season 17, that will be. of F1. Baffling 17 seasons of F1. Onto the 17th season. I completed 16 seasons of F1 now. I mean, F1, FTRL has been going now, I think. Is it 4 years? No. Actually, is it 4 years? Yeah, I think it is probably 4 years now. I think it is, yeah. 4 years FTRL has been going now, so. This is 14th season, but the GT seasons are a wee bit shorter than F1 seasons. Especially the start, I think they were much shorter. Only 5-6 weeks. Here we go. Just starting now, so we'll get to see who went race 2. Well, we got a different winner. We did last. I think it was. Yeah, there was. It was 3 different winners last week we had. So I wonder if we'll get the same again. But Pagani does look quick, and he has that ability to, under pressure, he's very consistent to get away. So yeah, that's blue flag, very important to get a P6 in the Corvette, starting P1. There we go. We get underway for race 2. Blue flag gets us away. He got a decent start over Aaron by the look of it, so he takes the lead into the first corner from Aaron in P2. Ross has a good start up to P3, fighting Unsafe. Unsafe is going to try and hold it around the outside. He's doing a good job at the moment. As head towards turn 2, blue flag still leads. Unsafe has got the upper hand on Ross and keeps P3. Ross in P4, SBY and Pagani maintain position. Lennon, P7, Thieber, and then Lee Cole, GP Greenwood, and Nobby Norris. So GP Greenwood getting past Nobby Norris. That is the only change on the order at the moment. Ross getting battled by SVY. SVY gets P4. Ross now kind of going back at him as SVY is going slightly wide on the exit. But these two are going to regain their battle by the look of it. But SVY is winning out at the moment. Unsafe directly in front of him. They're going to be slipstreaming all the way down, and blue flag and Aaron going to be slipstreaming as well, down as well, so they can make a bit of a break here, as Unsafe is going to be under pressure here by SBY I feel, and Ross very shortly. And Ross now pulls out to the outside to get past Unsafe Release as blue flag and Aaron battle as well. Ross is going up too far around the outside though, and he's going to hit the wall. Going to maybe a bit of contact with Unsafe as well, as Aaron fights into the chicane with blue flag, and blue flag's going to slide, and they're both going to slide. Aaron's managed to escape hitting the wall somehow. Unsafe has got through, so is blue flag and Pagani. SBY's had a moment hitting in that melee drama at the chicane, and also Ross somehow got caught up in that. Blue flag got very lucky though. The slide he had entering, there was just too many cars trying to get through the chicane there, as Unsafe and Aaron now going to go wheel to wheel again. Unsafe is going to get past, but then he's going to hit the wall, so Aaron's going to go back past, and then they're going to try and get through the snaky section wheel to wheel, and they are doing it, as Aaron's going to try and hold it round the outside. He doesn't hit the wall, he does it perfectly and he keeps possession, so Aaron, good defensive driving there. Pagani's going to get past Unsafe, but look at it down the inside here, so Aaron on the outside, Pagani's going to go down the inside of Unsafe Release, and he gives him the room. Pagani, and Aaron's went wide actually, sorry, and that, so is Unsafe. Pagani broke perfectly. Blue flag there has managed to get past Unsafe. The camera went away for some reason, so I couldn't actually see, but they obviously clearly outbroke himself. Pagani has got the lead of the race now. Aaron's in P2, blue flag's P3, and Unsafe Release P4. Lennon's all the way up to P5 now after the couple of incidents we had at the chicane. You can see him there in P4. Unsafe Release stuck in the back of blue flag. You've got Aaron on the back of Pagani. Blue flag trying to pull out, but thinks better of it. Pagani leads from P6. Did an excellent job at the start of the race to get back up. Hopefully not as many dramas here on lap 2 on the chicane. Oh, Aaron, Jesus Christ. Oh, very, very close to the wall. You don't want to be any closer on that, because if you were, if you went any closer, I don't think you could get any closer to be honest, you're probably hitting it. Blue flag and unsafe though, battling, and blue flag, oh no, bit of a contact with Aaron. Blue flag trying to go down the inside, but Aaron's going to defend. Unsafe trying to go round the outside, but he's just going to smack the wall, very far too much pace. Lennon right behind him now. Leacoll P6. Leacoll just needs to watch. Doesn't do the same as he's done the last race. Lennon's went compromise his line slightly. It give Lee a chance because he's still going to be compromised. Lee's going to get a good exit. They're going to head down now towards the hairpin again. All very tight between the top 6, top 7 at the moment. Aaron down the inside of Pagani. Unsafe Releases went very, very deep, and he's lost a lot of positions, but then he gets most of them back, to be honest, with a very good exit. He's more time to accelerate before everyone else has, so he got the exit anyway. So very, very close here, especially between the top 4. And you've got that battle with Lennon, Lee, SPY, P5 to P7. But Aaron still in the lead at the moment. He's got Pagani directly behind him. Then it's blue flag there, and then unsafe release, all covered by under 0.3 of a second, as you can see. So very, very tight between them. Blue flag thinking of going down the inside there, but then he thought better of it. Unsafe is going to try and get round the outside again. Unsafe's going to hit the wall slightly again though, and it's going to put Lennon up into P4 and ahead of unsafe release, but they're going to go side by side possibly. No, Lennon wins out and unsafe release doesn't battle it, so unsafe tries to get past blue flag, ends up losing that place he had, and he's down to P5 now. Still Aaron in the lead from Pagani in P2, blue flag P3, Lennon's P4, unsafe releases P5, then it's Leacoll in P6, SPY P7, then Ross, who's not had the best of starts, not been honest GP Greenwood, and neither has Fever, who has also had a few issues at the back. He's catching up now to the back of GP Greenwood. Here you can see as he goes through the S's. Greenwood's going to tap that wall, I think, very slightly. Compromises his run. Fever might get a brother on him, and towards the hairpin he is indeed. Is he going to go down the inside? Going to pull to the outside of GP Greenwood, and he's going to let him bite GP Greenwood, so he's up to P10. Aaron still leads though. It's still as you were for the top 5, top 7, and Ross is joined to the back of the queue. Bobby Norris isn't too far away as well, to be honest. They're all kind of still together. Aaron has actually made a bit of a break though. He's out of slipstream range of Pagani, hence why it's not closing that gap. So can he make a break for it? I'm not sure. I think Pagani's very quick around here. I think Aaron might struggle to make a break here. He is getting away ever so slightly. There again, it's up to 0.9 of a second, and he's an excellent run through the chicane, and he actually has indeed got an excellent run through the chicane. It's over a second now, so Aaron's making a break for it. He's over 1.1 seconds up front, and especially if blue flag's going to battle here with Pagani and blue flag's going to go down the inside, this is going to help Aaron, and Aaron's going to get away here. 1.5 second gap. Can Aaron make a break for it in race 2? Lennon's now getting past Pagani as well. This is what happens round this track, is blue flag has a big contact. That's going to have a concertina effect as well. Everyone's going to back up. That's going to increase Aaron's advantage up to 1.6 seconds. So this is what happens round this kind of sort of track. You end up getting caught up in battles. Someone who actually has made a tiny bit of a break can end up becoming a bigger break. So Aaron's managed to do it. It's difficult, but he's managed to do it. His blue flag has P2 at the moment. Lennon with a decent start so far in P3. Pagani's dropped down to P4. He's just alongside now, I think, with Lennon, but he's filtered back in the pack behind. Lennon's now going to catch up to the back of Aaron. Blue flag, sorry, directly in front of him. It's a solid lap, that last lap. 38.4 for Aaron, fastest lap of the race so far. Fastest lap last race was a 38.12, something like that. By SPY, I'm pretty sure. Here we go, Lennon trying to go round the outside of blue flag. There's a lot of battling going on between this bundle here, and Unsafe is having a look at Pagani as well. It's not going to help the battle for getting towards Aaron. Aaron can get a break here. Lennon's all over the shots. He's caught it. Unsafe. And Pagani going at it, but Pagani's got a bit of slip, so Unsafe's going to struggle there. Still the same for Aaron. In terms of the gap behind, Lennon lost ever so slight touch with Blue Flag, but he's still in slip, but he can't let that go any further. And he could end up with losing the touch of Blue Flag as well, which would be a disaster, really. Ross is P6 now, he's got past SPY and Lico. Lico seemed to have the pace in qualifying, but he's just not had the pace in the race here at all so far. What's happening really? Something the pace he showed. Gary a little bit late on the brakes. Lennon and Blue Flag battle. Lennon back up to P2 at the moment. Blue Flag then nudges ahead. Garney is going to get the slip as well on Lennon. Blue Flag. Garney having a look, so they're trying to fade away past. Gaps of over 2 seconds now, it's up 2.3. So another lap of that, and Aaron could be away and gone here. So we're nearly halfway, approaching now halfway of race 2, and it's Aaron who has taken the advantage up. It started P2 and he's got away from them. Lennon getting his elbows out with Pagani. He's saying, I don't want anyone past. He's keeping that P3. A solid result here for Blue Flag and Lennon. Maybe not after the first race. Wouldn't, if it stays as it is with top 3, definitely wouldn't be, I don't think, anyone's top 3, considering the fastest 4 looked to be SPY. The fastest 4 was SPY, Ross, Lee and Pagani in qualifying. Not one of them are in the top 3 in this race at the moment. But Pagani is trying to change that in P4. Blue Flag and Lennon still battling, and Pagani's going to nick up ahead of Lennon as Lennon had to try and defend. It's very tight between Lennon and Unsafe for the S's as well. And Unsafe's holding it, trying to hold it round the outside of Lennon. And Lennon's dropped all those places. He's down a P5 now, he wasn't P2. He's down a P5. Aaron, though, is wondering what if it's happening. He's getting on with the job up in P1. SPY getting back past Positive Ross, and this group are catching back up to the group in front of them, and it's become one big group from Blue Flag, Pagani, Unsafe, Lennon, SPY, Ross. Lee calls a little bit of drift, but that's now a good 6-car group now. It was 4, it's now 6. Lennon's slightly adrift actually, Unsafe. He's outside a slipstream wave, and he's very much within distance now of SPY and Ross. Lennon's had an awful lap. Blue Flag though on his way in P2. Aaron through the chicane nicely. Blue Flag quite nice as well. All having a bit of a slide, which is normal through there. Blue Flag looks much more assured than what he did in the last racing through there. Anytime I went on board with him through there, he was sideways to say the least. What's Pagani's tactic here? To get past, or sit behind, or push him, or... Because he's in a championship fight with Aaron. Not only is he in a championship fight, he's his rival. So, and he was out-qualified him, so that's 2 points. He got a point in the last race, 3 points. But at the moment, it looks very much like Aaron was going to pick up a point. So it'll be 3-1. And Pagani's pulling to the outside. I think he might be one past it. He's looking at a few places to try and get past. Still unsafe in P4. Lennon's managed to catch back up in P5. SPY's P6. Ross has had a dodgy lap or so. He's dropped slightly off this back SPY, which has allowed Lee to get up to this group. So it's now a 7-car group. This is what I was talking about with the slipstream around here. This is what happens. You end up with big groups of very, very close cars together, and that's why it's difficult to make a break. Aaron has done it. Pagani done it the last race. But yeah, it can be very, very challenging to make a break around here. You're doing a car that's pretty decent in a straight line, and if you lose slipstream in a car that's not very good in a straight line, you are toast. There is no way you're getting back up. It was incredibly important. Who was that? Lennon. It was Lennon. He completely, it was Lennon. I saw someone when I was talking there in the background, he completely mess up the chicane, it was Lennon. So Lennon's dropped off now, all the way down to P8. So was SBY. So it was SBY got involved in that. I couldn't actually see what happened. Wasn't entirely sure what happened, but Lennon and SBY have had contact clearly. I did see the. I think I saw the aftermath of the contact, not the actual incident itself. I'm not sure what happened there. It's a thing when you're in big groups of less and you're on board with the front one, you can't really see what happens at the back because there's so many cars in your way, you can't really see. Especially when it was that chicane. Aaron still 2.7 ahead, so he's just that ever so slightly again. In a very commanding position is Aaron. He's got a bit of penalty to win, but that's adorable for that gap. It's good to the end. So second, third and fourth are a bit adrift now of Ross. Because SBY and Lennon were having that battle and had obviously that contact, so. But he's bringing Lee Cole with him. Beaver was 2 seconds away from the group, but he's in 2.7. Willie got, not sure if that's just his pace, he got held up with that situation that happened as Lee's going to go down the inside of Ross now. He's getting into his zone now. Mentioned his pace wasn't anywhere near what he was doing in qualifying, but he's finding it now, Lee, and he's moved up to P5. You know, he's still trying to get past blue flag and blue flag. So he managed to pressure at the end of the last race. He's doing good. He's like a new man, blue flag, I think, this season. He's much more confident. He's picked up a penalty though for what he's done in that chicane now, a little bit wide. But yeah, as I said last week, he focused very much on ACC recently. But I'm not sure if he's done a bit of focus on GT, but he's got his pace back on GT, that's for sure. And he's right up there now, getting in the mix for podiums. And he's also looking a little bit calmer as well in the cockpit. He definitely tends to get quite flustered. That's kind of he starts making very strange noises, that's better to say, in the parties. Stops to breathe, you need him to breathe. But yeah, he seems a lot more confident now, and he's managing the pressure. Did last race, as he dropped, he kind of got a bit smothered quite quickly by quite a few drivers, and then he regained his focus and he kept in front, and that's why he probably is up in P2 as he started P1. So he done a good job there, and he's once again up in P2, so that's a pretty decent result for both flags. I'm pretty sure he'll be very, very pleased if he can keep P2 or even keep a podium. I think he'll be thrilled with. As Aaron comes around now, he's coming around now towards the chicane. Still as you were for the second, third and fourth, and fifth and sixth now. Fever has been caught by Lennon. SBY is a bit adrift. Nobby Norris has got a big advantage now on GP mode this race. And it's very, very close. He's actually going to pull to the outside, isn't it? I'm not sure there's going to be a chance there, not really. But I think, yeah, looking at 320, Aaron will get another lap. It's going to be tight with second, third and fourth. One or two of them might get it. It's going to be very, very tight. As you can see now, Lee Cole and Ross are at the back of it. They are losing substantial time this lap, as Lee Cole is now getting very racy and has now got past unsafe release as he's just pushed Pagani all the way off the track. Or was that unsafe? Someone pushed someone, I'm not sure it was, I thought it was Lee, but then unsafe let go and let Pagani go back in front of him. But that's allowed Lee up to P3 and Ross up to P4, so it's all switching about now. Blue flag is the only stationary, the only driver that wasn't affected by that. Aaron's off though, 4.2 seconds, he's got the gap now. Blue flag still P2, Lee's trying to go around the outside. Sometimes round the outside is working, round that column doesn't seem to be. I think it might be the camber or something, the corner, but it ends up just shoving you into the wall. Chicane always looks so dodgy. It really does everything for lap. Now we know Aaron is going to get another lap. Now, where's blue flag? maybe. Oh, it's going to be tight. Blofag might get it. No, I think it might be a victory lap for Aaron, to be honest. Last time there was 5 that got it. This time it might only be 1 that get it. So it's a much slower race by a few seconds for most people. Aaron's obviously went much quicker this race, obviously out front. If I come to defend the inside. In terms of everyone else, there's been a lot more battling, a bit more contact in this one, which has slowed a lot of people more down. Obviously, we had that incident right at the start of the chicane between, I think, SBY and Ross were badly hit for that. I think it kind of might be started by, I don't know if it was a bit spooked by Blue Flag's slide in front of them. I'm not entirely sure what happened, but it ended up being those two that were badly affected. SBY is right down the order. But Ross has regained himself back up to P4. Lee's done a very good job as well, getting up to P3. But they're all in a line again here, these 4. Unsafe release and Len in a little bit of drift. As Lee Cole's going to try and go around the outside of Blue Flag. He's not going to manage it. It's the same corner again, and it's not happening for anyone there. Aaron safely navigates it. Blue Flag in P2, still gets through. Lee's P3, still Ross and Pagani. So Aaron has a victory lap. Blue Flag now, will he get it? It's going to be very tight. There is about a second delay when the time stops. Will he cross the line? And he does. Blue Flag and Lee Cole will get it. Pagani takes P4 away from Ross right at the very end. Unsafe and Len's going to take P6, P7. Feeble's going to take P8, SBY, then Nobby Norris and GP Greenwood. Aaron's got a victory lap. Now, Blue Flag and Lee, I said only a couple of them are going to finish it. There's a couple of seconds delay of when that time finishes to when you cross the line, and it counts as checker flag, which is hence why Blue Flag and Lee Cole got an extra lap, because they actually crossed the line. There was 0 seconds remaining by a couple of seconds before that. But they've managed to get a lap. Lee Cole obviously had just got that lap. Blue Flag was probably hoping he didn't get that last lap. That would have cemented his P2, but now he's got Lee Cole to defend with all the way down this straight down the tunnel. So it's not worked well for Blue Flag. Good evening, Tom. Right, so yeah, Aaron has a victory lap and he's on his merry way down the last few corners. Now Blue Flag's he seemingly can't get round the outside here. He's tried it twice before, it's not worked. This is the only time he's not hit the wall, properly smacked the wall, and they're going to go side by side. He's head towards the chicane. Blue Flag's going to have the inside, and Blue Flag's going to have the advantage. Blue Flag is going to take P2. Aaron takes P1. Blue Flag is going to hold off just P2 for Blue Flag. Once again, he's done a very, very good job of holding everyone off, Blue Flag. But there we go. Aaron takes race 2. So Pagani with race 1. Aaron race 2. Blue Flag with P2, which I'm sure he'll be absolutely ecstatic with. P3 for Lee Cole, who I'm also sure will be very, very pleased, considering his first race went pretty terribly from pole. And then he had not a particularly great first race either. He had 2 big incidents at the chicane. Both were on his own. There wasn't any contact. Both was his own mistake. So he had to start from, I think it was like P8 or something in that second race, and he done a very good job to get up to P3. Was helped quite a bit, mind you, by quite a lot of contact in that race compared to the first race, that for sure. There we go. So that was reverse grid for the top 6. Now we're going to have reverse grid for the entire grid. So you're going to have the person who started at the very back of the field there, which was GP Greenwood, I think. So GP Greenwood will be starting on pole, Nobby Norris, and then it's SBY Thieber. That's P4. Then I think Unsafe Lennon, Pagani. No. Ross, Pagani. Lee, blue flag, and Aaron at the back. I'm trying to remember the blowing order it finished in. Yeah, but anyway, you're going to have GP Greenwood, I think, on pole for the last race. So this is even more of a challenge for the very quicker guys. You're going to have to get past, and as I said, slipstream can play a massive part here. It's basically trains here unless you make a bad mistake. So it's going to be difficult. It's going to be a challenge for them to get through. Especially considering it's only, pardon me, 20 minutes. So yeah, it's not the longest time. It's not the most laps to try and get past the field, especially for Aaron and things. So clearly there's once again there's maybe a wee bit more of a difference between people in the last race, but there's still not a big difference at all. And as you can see, we have a night race. So it's the 6:30 start time. So it's a night race, which that's a little bit of an extra dimension to it. Always looks much better at Tokyo in the night. So you do have rain at Tokyo as well. You can do. Rain is pretty horrible at Tokyo though. Not pleasant at all. I had it was Group 3, a Group 3 Citroen in it, and the Citroen was already. The Group 4 Citroen was a beautiful car, but the Group 3 Citroen liked to kill you at points randomly. It was one of those cars that just went whenever it felt like. So to have it in the rain was not pleasant, and I can't believe I didn't actually spin. Unbelievable. Yeah, it was an absolute nightmare though, that. Horrible. Horrible round here in the wet. It really is. It's not nice, not pleasant. But once again though, similar to last week where we had 3 different winners, we've had 2 winners out of 2 races, 2 different winners. So will we have 3 different winners again? Anyone other than Aaron or Pagani wins, which is definitely achievable here because SBY has got the pace. Lee, I'd say, has the pace as well. SBY, Lee. Blue flag, if things go his way, has the pace as well. And Unsafe possibly has the pace as well. So definitely, I think there's about 4 drivers that could win this race, other than the 2 that have previously won the last 2 races. Solid 6 drivers, which is good for FTRL. It's good for GT Sport to have that amount of drivers that can win a race. It's always better when you have a lot more drivers to be able to get on the podium and win a race. So let's see, and there could be quite a few incidents in this one. It being full reverse grid. More chances to crash into people and slow drivers, possibly holding a few up and things. There's parts of this circuit which are pretty narrow, particularly in the first sector. Well, there's quite a few S's. So yeah, definitely places for contact, that's for sure. Here we go, look, for the final race. So Pagani won race 1, Aaron won race 2, and who will win race 3? So there you go, it was SBY. I actually did get the, yeah, I did get the full. I saw it right. Woo. Right, so here we go. GP Greenwood will lead us away for race 3. Flashing headlights behind. And here we go for race 3. And there we go. And GP Greenwood gets away from the lead. It looks like Nobby Norris though has got a much better start. Nobby Norris has took the lead. SBY, definitely someone who can make a breakaway here if he gets past quickly. Going to try and get around the outside, and he has indeed got around the outside. Contact behind GP Greenwood, smothered by quite a few. He's lost P1, P2, P3 and P4. He's not all the way down to P5, GP Greenwood. They've got unsafe directly behind as well. Aaron's made a good start up to P8 from P11. He's jumped quite a few of them. Lee Cole's made a terrible start there at P11. Bugani's P7 directly behind JP Greenwood. JP Greenwood has been overtook by near enough everyone, and he's going up to P6 possibly as well. He is indeed up to P6. Through the hairpin round the outside. A little bit of contact there between them. Bugani wins out though. Nobby Norris leads away though. Had a good opening lap, and he's not allowed SBY to get past. I think if SBY got past Nobby Norris, he could have made a break for it. So a lot of quicker guys are trying to get back from the thing, but you have got Lenny, you've got Ross, who is definitely capable of winning the race. Behind him as well. Unsafe releases was P5. Now Pagani, who's got past him, is now P5. Aaron in the slipstream as well has now got past him as well. So Aaron moves himself up to P6 as he heads towards this right-hander, where everyone seems to be hitting the wall on the outside all the time. And they enter the chicane for the first time. How does everyone get past it? SY gets past it, nice. So there's everyone else in the background. Oh, who's that? Blue flag. And holy call again! Another bit of a mistake, but he's not had a near bigger incident he's had in the first race, but he's down in P10. JP Greenwood's had a shocking start from P1. Oh, Nobby Norris has had a bad moment as well. He's down at P5 from P1. So SBY is now leading, and he's getting away, and it's now going to be Ross who's got past Lennon. That was extremely important for Ross, as he had to get past him, because he knew, I think, he's quite a bit, I think SBY is a good few tenths at least quicker than Lennon a lap, and that was allowed SBY to get through. Now he's only at 1.3 seconds. He needs to catch up to the back of him in case SBY gets away. Now it's blue flag I seen in Nobby Norris. Blue flag down the inside of Nobby Norris up to P7. Nobby Norris down to P8, and he's losing time quickly. Flat markers from the previous races are being very quickly overtaken round here. A lot quicker than I thought they might have. A couple of mistakes from Renault, which has helped. Now Ross is not getting SBY. This could be difficult here, as Pagani is getting past Lennon by the look of it. He's not quite past, he is now, and he's passing up into P3. That was important for Pagani as well. Can anyone catch up to SBY, or will SBY continue to extend that gap? It's 1.5 seconds at the moment. Aaron's P5, and he's got to get past Lennon shortly. He's bringing Unsafe with him, two familiar foes in this race. Unsafe got all over the shot there, and that's going to allow Blue Flag a chance, who's in P7 at the moment. Nobby Norris has made another mistake. He's hit the wall, and he's down all the way down at the back. So is JP Greenwood. So it's going to be Lee's in P8 now, and Feber's with him. There's Aaron bringing the other group up behind the chasing group, and it's closed significantly. It's down in a second. Ross is doing it. He knew he had to. If he doesn't catch up to him, SBY's gone. It's very important he made a quick recovery and caught back up to the back of Ross. He's very capable, Ross, of catching him, and he's bringing Pagani as well. And then there's this group who are going to struggle to catch up. I think his Blue Flag makes another move past Lennon. Very impressed with Blue Flag so far here. His pace is just light years ahead of what it's been for a long time on GT. And he's very much in the mix in every race so far today. Whether his car's playing a bit of a part of that, I'm not sure, but he's definitely much quicker than I've seen him in a long time. GT. SBY has got that gap back up a bit, mind you. And Pagani seems to be pushing a little bit too much. He's lost a little bit of time actually, and he's now within the clutches of Aaron. I think Pagani's probably pushed too hard and he's made mistakes. This can happen. SBY though leads from Ross, who's chasing after him. Pagani's in P3, Aaron's P4, and he's got Unsafe once again behind him. Seems to always be side by side, those two, near enough. And you've got Blue Flag P6, who's just got past Lennon at the hairpin of that lap. It's into lap 4 now, all of them. Go on to lap 4. Lee Cole goes, he's P8. And down at the back, sadly, it's with Nobby Norris again. And SBY's made a mistake somewhere. And Ross has caught all the way up to him. And now it's a battle for the lead again. Ross having a little moment there. Hitting the wall. Pagani still, a wee bit more of a break now against Aaron. Aaron caught right up to him, so I don't know if there's been a bit of contact between Aaron and Unsafe possibly. He's blue flags trying to go past Unsafe. He's round the outside. Unsafe with a bit of a moment though on the traction. That might allow blue flag through. As blue flag's trying, they're going to go wheel to wheel. Unsafe and blue flag as they enter the tunnel. And blue flag's winning out ever so slightly. Lennon's going to try and get past Unsafe at the same time, push through, get a bit of slipstream off blue flag, and it seems to be working as well. And now Lennon's going to get past, and Unsafe, sadly for him, is going to get down to P7, I think, unless he can try and hold it. No, I don't think he's going to be able to. He's not. So Unsafe loses 2 places there. SBY's got that gap back over slipstream range. Pagani still P3, Aaron P4. They're both outside the slip. Actually, Aaron was, he's just back inside now. It's hovering in and out. But it's SBY still on the lead here for the first 4 laps as he enters lap 5. Ross has the fastest lap of the race with a very solid 38.2, showing the pace that Ross has. Can be very, very quick on his day, Ross. Very, very quick. Especially with these Group 4 cars. He can be very, very quick. Ross. Caught right up to the back of him though again. So I made a couple of mistakes. Ross just at the upper hand at the moment in terms of pace. SBY though, it's not the quickest in a straight line, and Ross is right behind him. I think SBY's in that M6 Group 4 BMW, and it doesn't have the pace a lot of the other cars have. Almost not able to yet. Second ball with this. Pagani's got away from Aaron. Aaron's got away from blue flag. And blue flag's leading the Unsafe and Lennon at the moment. SBY still keeping Ross at bay at the moment on lap 6. Yeah, that M4 isn't great on a straight line. That's where it struggles really. In a straight line, it's not great at all. A little bit again there though. Happening down the field, still separated quite a bit, those Gallon and Aaron in between everyone. The blue flag's definitely, oh god, bit of contact. They're getting elbows out between blue flag and Unsafe. They're going to go wheel to wheel. This is not the option. It's, oh my Jesus, a lot of contact there between Unsafe and blue flag. They're lucky it didn't come off worse, if I'm honest there. It's not the place to go too wide at all. Pretty awful idea, and that's what happens when you go too wide through that section of track. SBY though still leads from Ross over halfway on the last race of tonight, and as it stands at the moment, it looks likely we're going to have 3 different winners once again. Hence why that championship is so damn close at the moment. So many winners, and splitting the points, aren't you? So no one's getting those big points every week with everyone else. It's very similar points. Lennon now got unsafe now after that contact he had with blue flag. That was just too many cars into a single file corner, let's be honest. It's not anywhere I'd like to try and overtake. That's right, still managing though to keep Ross at bay. He's right there though. Ross has done a good job of getting back up to touching distance of him as he enters the chicane. Nicely done. Pagani P3, Azarin P4. Very nice from Aaron. There's Lennon and unsafe. No repeat of the previous lap. Blue flag P7. There's Feber. Lecol not having a good race again. Lecol bad lap in lap 4. He obviously made a mistake somewhere. Probably at the chicane again. Most likely. SUI, decent first sector. Against Ross. A bit more of a quiet race this one. A bit more spread out. Usually tends to be though, because you have people out of position from race 2. So fast the guys end up getting through a little bit quicker than everyone else. Is Lennon and unsafe. Very close together. You get the battle between blue flag and Fever. Unsafe a bit too wide there. Can't go a bit wider. That was, I mean, a tad too wide from unsafe. Lost a bit of time. Fever right on the back of blue flag. Something with Ross. Just gonna just be inside slipstream right here. I should be much better in the first sector in all honesty anyway, because of the type of car he has. That's where it excels. At BMW, it's not the fastest in a straight line. Feber giving a move, he's not able to quite just yet. Blue flag doing very well to defend. Feber switches now. Blue flag defends the inside. I don't think Feber's a little bit more sensible not to try and get past blue flag there, if I'm honest. They're very sensible when it comes to driving. They won't force them where they won't try and get past blue flag there. Unsafe release, having a look at Lennon now. Lennon not keeping his car in all the right places at the moment, making it hard for unsafe, and he is indeed not going to get past. So Lennon keeps P5. He's doing a very good job, Lennon there. It's a good night, Lennon. Solid night. Good job. Quite consistent. Closest he's probably been towards the top in a while in terms of outright pace. Oh, what's happened to Ross? Ross has had a moment clearly. He's well down on SBY. 2 seconds he's lost. Pagani, it's not within slipstream yet, but it's much closer than what he has been. So disappointment for Ross after gaining all that time. Looks like SBY's his race to lose now. You see his pace though, fastest lap. It's fastest lap all night. 38 flat. Better than all the qualifying laps as well. Fastest lap of the night is Ross's, 38 flat. Will helped a little bit by some slipstream possibly, but nonetheless very, very solid lap time. Very, very quick. Unsafe though, leads from Lennon now, P5. Behind blue flag, still leads from Feber. P7 and P8. Feber's very, very close to the back. He's in the slipstream. Feber. When is he going to think about a move here? Then that BMW as well. Blue flag has a much faster car on the straight line, I think, here. Feber. Another man in the BMW. So it does seem a very, very popular car. It's very, very stable. It's very, very nice. It's a decent all-round car. It's only a slight downside is it's not as quick as other cars in the straight line, but some people just try and focus on getting a car that's very, very nice. To be honest, most Group 4s are pretty nice to handle. There's only a couple of Group 4s that have maybe a little bit more twitchy than others. The Honda, not sure the Honda still has actually just seen side by side still lining on safe. The Honda used to be very twitchy, even the Group 4. And usually Group 4 cars are very, because they don't have as much power, they're usually pretty nice to handle. Bit of lag there from Lennon. Right behind unsafe, trying to get back past him. It doesn't look like it. Stop gaining. Don't know if Lennon put the brakes on at some point through there. As that's FIBA having a look, trying to go round the outside. It's not worked. I don't think it's worked for anyone, if I'm honest, actually. Round the outside of that corner. Head towards the chicane. Blue flag and FIBA negotiate it fine. That's Lee Call in the background. You can catch up at the back of them. Ross has had another dodgy couple of laps, and it's allowed Pagani to be right there with him now. So Pagani can smell blood. Can he take P2? That'd be a P1, a P4 and a P2 for Pagani. Not a bad night's work. Probably the most consistent. SPY had a bad race too, which hence why he started quite far up in P3, so he finished P9 instead in race 2, so it's not the best positioning for SPY. Aaron's been very consistent as well though. P5, P1, P4, which is a relatively good night. Not quite as good a night as Aaron, Pagani, sorry. Obviously Pagani had the upper hand in terms of the rival battle, so he's got some extra points. And he's beating him again in this race. That's going to help Pagani a little bit. Rival thing does add a little bit of an extra dimension because of the points. You don't get too much of a difference in points between each race. It's definitely a helping hand. Having those extra rival points. SPY very easily is gonna. It's the quickest race so far, actually, by quite a way, actually. Not been anyone near as much contact. It's been very, very kind of consistent in terms of the people in the 38. So Pagani just seen his set the new fastest lap, 37.9, as he was catching Ross. So he's been taking Ross. He's been very, very quick indeed in this last few laps. He took it off Ross for the fastest lap of the night. Aaron's in no man's land. He's going all nicely. But in race 2 he was in the lead, so I'm sure he preferred. Unsafe and Lennon still going at it. Lennon was in the lead for quite a bit. Unsafe got past. Lennon tried to get back past. He's still within slipstream range. He's lost anything. Still this battle between Blue Flag and FIBA. Lee Cole's gaining. He's got to gain a little bit more, and he has got a penalty, mind you. He's closed that gap quite a bit though, as FIBA's going to try and go around the outside. The first time he's really tried to do an overtake, to be honest, FIBA. And Blue Flag defends nicely. He's done an excellent job of defending. Blue Flag has a penalty as well, mind you. FIBA's probably in the best position there. Unsafe and Lennon going side by side again in this tunnel. Seems to be a familiar sight between these two in this race. Side by side near enough every lap in this tunnel. Can Lennon get past now? Back past. Could be tight between these two. I'm not sure if these will get another lap. Might be very, very tight. It's SPY. He's coming around. Pagani is going to take P2, it looks, and Ross. SPY has got 8 attempts to get rid of a penalty, 1.3 seconds. He's lucky. Pagani's not any closer. And he's got enough time, and he's going to cross the line, and he's going to win. Actually, he's got another lap, sorry, I'm losing the plot. So is Pagani and Ross. Forgot they've got another lap. I'm losing the plot. Too late now. Aaron crossed the line. Unsafe has actually, and Lennon have actually finished. I thought they might have. I didn't think they were going to have quite enough. So Unsafe takes P5, Lennon takes P6, Blue Flag takes P7. He managed to just finish ahead of FIBA. Lee Cole takes P9. Nobby Norris is going to come home in P10. It could be Greenwood in P11. But SBY is going to have to try and get rid of his penalty, I think, here. Because I don't think he can go to the line, and he can at the moment, but he's going to be very tight, and I don't know if I'd be wanting to do that. Because it rounds up to the next second, I think. So it'll be 2 seconds he's got there, unless he gets rid of it. Or even gets rid of a couple of attempts of it, so he doesn't round up. But it's SBY's extended that again now, so yeah, he's quite happy now there. He's 2.5 seconds now, so he's got enough. Not really any battling going on between these four either. They're all spread out a bit. It's a much faster race than the second race, that's for sure. Although they're all well adrift to unsafe and letting, that's why they've all got an extra lap. SBY though, 2.7, so he's very, very much easily took the victory for another different winner. And Ross has let Aaron go through. No, those two are teammates, so Aaron is in the championship fight. So that's why they have done that. Aaron has got the championship fight in his hands, and Ross hasn't, so a bit of teamwork going there. But there we go. Second week in a row. 3 different victors. So very, very interesting in terms of the championship, and we'll see what happens next week, and I'll let you know in terms of who's at the top and who's very close together. But that concludes our action this evening. So there we go. It was Picardi the first race, Aaron won the second race, and SVY won the third race. And next week it is a topless shot. So yeah, topless shot cuts off at just kind of the mid part of the straight. Instead of going down towards the kind of hairpin, you turn right, head back towards the start finish straight. So it's quite a bit shorter actually, substantially so. Got a lot of laps in it at topless, so qualifying will be a bit easier for everyone, I'd imagine. But yeah, I think F1 might be, I'm not sure if it's starting next week or the week after. If it's not next week, it's the week after. But there's a bit of debate over, due to, I think there's quite a few glitches, as always with Codemasters. As much as it's been taken over by EA, yeah, been took over, obviously, it's took over by Turkey, hasn't it? But it's still very much a Codemasters game, this one, and it's still very, very glitchy at the moment. There's not really been an update yet to solve all of the issues. Yeah, well, I don't know, it has been, but it was a rubbish update. But there we go. I'm rambling on there. So that concludes this evening action. So thank you much for watching me again. Join me again next week for our topless, and F1 will be starting in the next few weeks. If anyone wants to join that, just message Lee or the FTRL on the socials. Thank you very much for watching, and have a nice night.